Yellow, this is Kev. This is BMBBH. How are you guys doing tonight? Yeah, live on Sunday evening once again. And just noticing the trend that never runs out. Uh, but before we get into that, on your way in, or, if you're catching the replay, don't you hit that like button. Likes are for free, and they are for the algorithm. Yes, also be aware of the ticker that's going across the bottom of the screen. Ask you to like the video, share the video on any social media that you like, or, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button if it's your first time here. Uh, for edutainment purposes, that's an important part. Um, Although I do talk about things such as current events and actual facts, I do have a tendency to try to crack a joke or two. I mean, it's just it all depends on what the situation is, but um, when you step on this platform, you have to be somewhat entertaining. So I wouldn't advise anybody to read into that too hard. But anyways, shout out to RPM in the building. Yeah. See, the one trend that will never seem to die in the black community is is something that a lot of brothers aren't going to be willing to admit. Told you to text them what's going on. The only trend that will never die in the communitah, and in a space like this that is supposed to be about, solidarity and brotherhood, unfortunately for us brothers, we're gonna have to call it out sooner or later and having to deal with it. I mean, it's cool and it's okay to call out any other problems that anybody else has been having, but as far as we are concerned, when are we gonna start having get-togethers, powwows, chop it up sessions? Which I'm one of the people that will say that yes, that does happen in this space, but deal with it in a fashion that points right to it. Because this is, I mean, let me tell you what it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be this whole racist, archetypal stereotypes, you know, such as the hood gangster or the dude that some of you out there like to call Dusty. No, this is more of a maintenance among brothers. This is not to virtue signal to appeal to any detractive crowd. This is just a couple of suggestions from someone who is within this community of people that we have in this online culture. You know, that's that's. I mean, everybody, make sure you hitting the like button as you come in. Uh, really appreciate you all's presence. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. What's going on? Good to see you once again. Um, Last night's broadcast was basically it was about what's happening to the brothers as far as the public perception of us, but I was talking about it more of a way or at least I attempted to. I try to talk about it in more of a way that keeps us on our toes and not just, point the finger at everyone else because um, there is a history of us trying at least to control our narratives, but we just didn't have the power stick. We just didn't have the we what I was trying to say last night was we didn't have the resources to make the decision that led to that. I mean, we can talk about how things aren't the way we want, all day and night. We can talk about that, but we can also discuss what our roles in that is. How much control we have, or how much impact we could have had if there were more. I mean, and this is always the case, if there were more brothers in position to control that. I mean, we all understand that there are roadblocks and there are certain things that you have to consider. But all I'm saying is, instead of reacting to the aftermath of things, why don't we start working on ways to um, put things in place to where stuff like that won't ever happen? Be in control of our own shit. Shaka Nulu, what's going on? I mean, reacting's okay. It just seems like to me, to us black men in particular, that we are the ones that always seem to get caught off guard, and there may be many reasons for that. And it's always the little stupid stuff that's holding us back. I mean, we have all the capability in the world. I mean, it just is just that there's always the little stupid things. We're always letting stupid stuff get in our way. And I mean, like, you're always warned not to take things too seriously when you approach these platforms. You're always warned into it because I don't know, things have a tendency to happen. You know, if you're going to take certain stances and certain positions, you need to be ready for it when the time comes, because you never know, the spotlight could be on you. It is something I consider because I mean, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have thought something like YouTube was possible, and now you got all kinds of people floating around here. Just wanted to share that little tidbit with you guys. Um, to always be prepared, because we're not. Then this is not some waving the white flag. It's just not nothing's ever done yet. I mean, if we were, and I hate to decrease some of you guys' paranoia, it, and let's tell the truth. If they wanted us gone, we could be gone by now. I mean, they've had plenty of years to do it, and we just like left ourselves open to it. Like, shout out to Path. What's going on? It's just maybe not the right time to discuss some of this, but It's never is always and it's never the right time. It's ugh. But we are our own punchline, but we can do little things to control that. Just little things. Like here's one thing that you could do. You could protect your information. We are people who don't understand that every time we do something for the public eye to see, like apply for a loan or something, there's a little bit of that information that floats out there. And if people wanted to find you out, all they would have to do is type in your name and some, other means through. And I don't understand why people pay for programs to find out who people are. For real, as long as you're not I mean, as long as you're not, obvious fucking people, sexual deviants, murderers, people like that, on the serious side of things. You know, become more self sufficient. I would say I ain't saying that all of us gotta get along, because if you guys believe that every race gets along within their own within their own selves, and they're any tighter than what black men are, then you guys got it wrong. Other races fight amongst themselves. It ain't something that's should be stuck to us as a characteristic, but it is stuck to us no matter what. That we as a group of men are always at each other's throats trying to kill each other. When that happens within every group. But when it happens within other groups, they put them on these crime documentaries, these 1 hour crime shows on TV. They be like, hey, let us tell you about this pack of murders that happened in this neighborhood. It'd always be some like white guy in his 60s and shit. The guy they never suspect. Isn't it always like that? But with us, they put it on the news. Oh, they'll put it on like express cop shows like the first 48. You know, they won't put it in a documentary unless you were like a drug lord or a pimp. And there were a couple of B-dub drug lords. Like they, they were something serious. You didn't want to mess with them. So, you know, stereotypes. That's all I'm saying. It's not something that is not something that I worry about as much as I used to. I do understand that they have to be taken into consideration, not you as an individual. I'm sure that we do better on our own as such, as far as the major stereotypes that seem to keep I don't know, fucking up our public image. Yeah. But yeah, chat, thank you for your participation. Mm. But sometimes brothers got to talk to each other. I'll drop a link, see if anybody wants to come up. Eventually, Pav said other races have a cult. Let me put this up here. Hybrid Pav says hybrid Latinos and Hispanics are officially second. They're 18.7%. Yeah, well, that's the crowd that the Democrats are going to appeal to. Y'all just get ready for that. Of all that dancing and clapping, you should have known this was coming. But hey, we got to be the 300 if at all possible. Well, let me put this on the screen. This is the one that caught me. Other races have a culture though, Kev, and the men aren't natural adversaries of one another. It's not. We're not natural adversaries of one another. We're human beings. It's fucked up shit happens across the board. You know, I hate to be that one to say that, but it's just ours is played up more than everyone else's. Ours is played up as a you know a struggle of blackness or some shit like that. Mm. I'm just saying. I mean, yes, there's some stuff that we need to work. There's some stuff that we need to work on as a group of men. There's if we truly cared about our problem, we wouldn't be so smug about it when we come up to these platforms. Natural adversaries of each other. I mean, let me tell you something. If you put anybody, any group of people within a bad economic condition, and you watch them eat each other, the problem with us in this group is that we don't have much value in ourselves. So it's almost as if the failure is expected. Shaka Nulu. Path, what is Path saying? uh, Two white guys don't death stare each other down in grocery stores, Kev. Let's be real. That's some shit only black men do. And look, I go out in public, like I mean, I'm not some type of celebrity, and I mean, there's no need to number one really stare at anyone. But I don't see all that shit, man. Unless you're in like not even on hood sides of town. I mean, I don't go. I haven't gone hanging out that much lately. In situations where I was younger, obviously. But I mean, even with those volatile times going on, I didn't really see the death stares that you are referring to. Snowman in the morning with Cole Johnson. What is up? Good to see you. Man said two white guys. I mean, shit. If hey, let me add to that situation. Like, what if one guy fucked the other guy's wife? Let's do that. Let's see. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd Power says it's like how grizzly bears eat you slow and make you suffer. That's how the black community is. Slow depreciation. Yeah, that's put it a much better way, I'd say. Yeah, if we just added our own, if we just added to our own intrinsic value, that we got to make this effort because no one else is going to do it for us. Because the sad part about that is, if where a lot of this mentality comes from, is the fact that there are certain people that believe that we have to look good for other races in order for us to value ourselves. That's a weak look for us. I don't care. Like I'm not one of those guys that is super shocked when I found out a white person, when at the moments where I find out that a white person is racist. I don't I'm not real shocked when that happens. Will I deal with it on the spot? Yes, I will. I'm one of the few that will. I don't know. I just, growing up in Alabama, just, does that. Make sure that you're ready to deal with certain situations. Everybody talks down on Alabama, but hey, at least we kick ass in college football. just, just saying. But you know, we got a lot of us that tolerate racism over having any unity with other brothers, and they act like we don't do that. Let's see. Hybrid says, I will say this though. When you see a brother nod your head, he usually nods back. Yeah, yeah. That that is something that is a reality for me. I mean, at least the situations that and the environments that I grew up in, I'm always able to nod, and people, other men will nod back. As a show of respect and community. Like, hey, what's going on, brother? Stuff like that. I'm not saying, and we have a movement of brothers who are against doing that. So that's what the kind of things that we're here to talk about. But I don't know. I think this is a bit of uh let me read past. I've been accepted the death of Black America. I think it's actually I actually think it's a good thing. We need to do something different. This clearly didn't work. Why can't black people accept value themselves as human beings and not black people? This is why I say blacks are antiquated in how we think and view the world. Um, I'm laughing at hybrid down here. Uh, I don't know. Is other the only problem I see in that, as far as the lost identity of Black America, is that you know every other group of people can culturally identify in America. I mean, as far as what we are to this country, we need to maybe start working on a push for that. I mean, we can't just sink ourselves into nothingness while every other group gets to allow an identity. That I mean is like it was Europeans that came over here and became Americans. You know, we don't necessarily, as blacks, like the way we came over here. We don't necessarily like it, but we were born years and years and years and years after the fact. So we also never had to deal with it as well. And we are in prime position to have an identity if we so choose to have it. You know, we just have to understand that in corporate work structures is how they want things to be. If and you know we live in a capitalist society, if we want to structure our own culture, then we're going to have the corporate muscle to do so. Not to say that I am an expert on that. I am not some kind of corporate mogul, but there has to be a shift in the income bracket, like, getting little simple stuff like, keeping the black dollar in the black community. Yeah, man, just like you are gloom and doom down there. This man is throwing out black exploitation quotes. Man, you the brother man and not the other man. It's like, Kev, America is crumbling at this point. Is having an identity even worth it? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you should have watched last Sunday when I was saying that. It was, I was being extremely sarcastic, but I had some suggestions, as usual. Like, I believe that, I don't know. I believe we need to try for something. Everything can't be this drastic. I mean, I understand as far as black men being powerless in America. I understand that to an extent, but that's what I care about. I mean, the man said America has fallen so far off the path, no pun intended, that I just focus on my spirit and living for God. I don't have time to fix a dead patient. I'm not suggesting that we take any patients in or anything like that, but um, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think any of us do. There are so many ideas, but I don't know. Here's the thing. Maybe we should seek the solution that helps us suffer the least. That seems to have worked out so far. But anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Black men, if we truly cared, if we truly cared, we will do everything in our power to do so in our personal sphere and not have our most harshest trend that seems to never die being our own worst enemy. Yeah, there are a lot of places that you can nod your head and they'll nod back, but there's too many places where you can't do that as a black man because of because of the little value that we have in ourselves, and even the lack of resolve in calling ourselves black in 2022, because what we are having a tendency to do is to wipe away whatever identity we have at this point, because in only in our own eyes does it seem like a defeated regime. Yeah, we had two big celebrities. They passed. Granted, they were late '80s, and the impact that they both had in our culture, the culture that we seem to deny ourselves. But you know we have to be honest about this. It was a get in where you fit in. But Nichelle Nichols, who was the black Star Trek cast member of the original, played Uhura. Yep, going boldly where no man has gone before. Rest in peace, sister. And Bill Russell. Hmm. Bill Russell. Let's see. I'm just looking up his accomplishments. NBA MVP, NBA All Defensive, All NBA team. I believe he's a multiple time champion as well. 11-time NBA champion. 11 time. That man is truly the GOAT. Yeah, Hybrid says anything past 70 years of age is a blessing. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a very sad part about that. Uh, People who live past the age of 70, they grew up on better, less chemically based food, which means that for us, yeah, getting past 70 will be a blessing. So that statement rings true. Mm. So yeah, so rest in peace to those people who are icons in their own right. Oh, okay. Have a cash app from Toya the Texan. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate you. Yep, cash app is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Hmm. And tonight's subject is the only trend that never dies in the communitah. Orlando's a Knight's Palace. Hurry up and buy. Dane one. What's going on? Path. You said that. Let me address this. Said I know. LOL. It was a tasteless joke. I'll be the bad guy tonight. Yeah. Go ahead. I mean, as long as you can be anything you want to chat, as long as you're not blatantly disrespectful. I'll say that. I don't just kick people out. I mean, I did quite a few on the day of Kevin Samuels passing. Yeah, there were trolls coming in everywhere. But on regular times such as these, then there's not really any problems or issues. Dang one, the trend is black folks hating on each other. Hmm. Yeah. So I'll never go below the belt calf. Okay. And my views are down the middle. I call it like the refs call it. Okay. Yeah, you can pay refs off, right? But yeah, it's good to have you. It's good to have it's good to have anybody who's willing to participate. So this I we try to make it a welcome environment here. Mo Mori returns. What's going on? Yeah, just getting tired of the brothers hating on each other. I'm just playing. I do get tired of it, man. I mean, sometimes it's entertaining though. Mm, yeah, let's look at let's look at some community tab stuff. Let's discuss the premise of certain things. I like to offer some transparency on. Oh, wait a minute. Let me take that down for a sec. I like to offer some transparency on why I posted things that I posted. And want you guys to understand that um, it's not on some weird shit. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. sometimes I post these. Sometimes I post these as a way to. I don't know. I agree with the premise of the comebacks. Like just let's read this one right here. I just posted this one like an hour ago. She calls herself It Girl. She said if you're 25 plus with no kids, you're the problem. Which is very stupid. That's very stupid, And we understand that some people just, they have other things in their lives to do besides that. I mean, say LOL, whatever makes I don't know, couldn't tell you what flag that is, but say FJ stay trill says whatever makes you feel better about being stuck in the house with them kids. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Here's something I wanted to say. The Black Manosphere show of the week. If you haven't been able to check out one, they are they're on different YouTube channels. That's within the space, especially for men who consider themselves part of the space known as the Black Manosphere. Uh, Obsidian was show 11 tonight. So far, so good. The Roger Report was the first show, and I was number four. So, as a content creator that has participated in this, like I said, it's going 11 weeks, and the way it looks is going to have a 12th week and the 13th week. Um, I will say I'm proud that at least creators in the space are able to work together to keep up something on a weekly basis. Excuse me. So yeah, big ups to the content creators thus far. If I can find a list of the names that has participated so far, because I have all of the shows in my community tab that has been done thus far. Yeah, so the first one was the Roger Report. He kicked it off. Check him out Monday through Friday mornings. The second episode was LAR Movement, Still Moving. Uh, Third one was the Kosher Clinician. Told you the episode 4 was mine. BGS did episode 5. Edward Anderson 6. Bernard Riley 7. Mr. Z 8. Dennis Sperling 9. The good officer Faulkner. He did episode 10, and Obsidians was tonight. So just wanted to say to all of those brothers, I appreciate you guys. I know a lot of the space receives a lot of heat as far as the sign language that we have to endure because of the premise of a lot of the this topics of discussion. And I'm a proponent of freedom of speech. Just get up here and say what y'all want. Keep your shit tight, but just you have you this you have the given right to say what you want to say. And I also do understand that there are brothers who are serious. So just if anything, but shout out just saying shout out to the brothers who have participated in this thus far. And if you are a content creator, let me type this out. As a matter of fact, uh, let me type this out. If any content creator, I mean, you know you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to identify yourself or anything like that. Believe me, I am not a chaser of any kind of clout. I mean, if there's meat on the bone, you do what you can for your particular channel. That's everyone. But I'm just gonna put this email up here for any content creator that wants to participate. Book themselves a week for the Black Manosphere Show of the Week. So there you go. So anyone watching right now, who participates in the chat, if anyone comes up here and asks why that particular email address is up on the screen, that's if like you're a Black Manosphere content creator or a black male content creator that wants to participate in the effort to keep this weekly show going. There is the email address that you can contact the content creators that facilitate the show of the week. So there you go. So let me go back to. Glad to share the screen. All right. Yeah. So I like this meme right here. I created this meme. Sometimes I get bored and I just have these thoughts. Hold on one second. Just yeah. This one right here says B Dubs and baby mamas online. Ain't nobody ever got our backs. Then you see the simp reaction. Yeah, I did pretty good on that one. I got 179 likes, upvotes, whatever you want to call it. I hate that if there's like if anybody presses dislike that they can't see it or they can't see how many people actually voted dislike. I hate they took that off the videos. 'Cause I used to celebrate the mugs. Now they acting like they trying to protect you. It's like I don't need no protection. Protect ourselves. But yeah, there is a clear message to that one that we that I'll discuss just very briefly because they is called victimhood. They want to present this image like they're completely helpless in this world, and you got all of these simp lords that and it's just like I call them simps because that's the reaction you get for attacking brothers. Trying to virtue signal, and in all of that, and all that effort that you guys put up online, and you still treat it like you don't exist. It is so funny. It's like, why be that way? Nobody, like, we need to concentrate on fortifying ourselves as black men. Nobody's coming to our rescue. I mean, family members, great. Protect your family members all day. That's your beating heart right there. But online crusades, acting like you're slaying a dragon. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Do better, brothers. Yeah. See if we can explore this a little bit further. All right. Yeah, this was one in particular that yeah, this like I said, I don't want everybody to think like I get these memes and get these screenshots from other parts of social media. So is just understand that I created that last one I showed, but I don't create all of them. These are thoughts from actual other people. Um, says if you have a son, make sure you buy him a notepad, a body camera, and a recording device. Get him a battery pack too, so he can always protect himself with video evidence of every single encounter he has with a woman. Men aren't safe in America anymore. There is a war on men. Mm. Well, we'll get into the nature of that on another broadcast. Yeah, but is this is I don't put things in my community tab just to put them there. You know, a lot of them is they either have one or two purposes: to inform you or to entertain you or to educate, edutainment. A lot of people, simps included, will dismiss this as that well, if he got to have all that, then he must be trying to be guilty of something. I've seen crazy comments on the other places that this was posted. I would say something like you wouldn't believe the mentality of certain people, but a lot of you guys been on social media long enough. And I mean, and the sad part about this is that this is sound advice. This is very good advice. Is what you call the pathway to men's rights. Because that's one thing that people say they're not seeing enough of the talks of men's rights. But there's many things you can do to avoid getting caught up in situations that could cost you your life. You know, and you have all these little activists and virtue signalers and that will try to say things to the contrary just to take the emphasis off the fact that we as men have struggles of our own that we have to deal with, psychological and legal. But it's a sad day when you know a son, especially if it's your son. I don't have a son, but if you have a son, there's especially a black son. There's so much to consider and to worry about. This right here could happen to any man. We have to think about those too. Look at that. How much stuff did she mention in this? A notepad, that's one. A body camera, a recorder device, that's three. I mean, get him a battery pack. That's another thing. I mean, just let me just throw a name out there, Brian Banks. So yeah, you have to you have to be extra careful out here these days, fellas. In a struggle in the on the pathway to protecting yourself from harm of each and every kind. Keeps you from becoming a cautionary tale. this is this is always an interesting one right here. When it comes to this kind of subject matter. Here's my thing. You're not going to be able to make them choose over what they want. I didn't post this necessarily, to, I don't know, shame a woman into accepting a guy no matter how he looks and no matter what his station is in life. That's unrealistic. You're not going to be able to ever shame a person into liking outside the interest of their hearts. What is what I said in the caption? I found this cartoon interesting. In the end, this is her decision, not his. They winning, you winning, but somewhere else, obviously. And it's like either she's super short or she's sitting down. He said, "I'm 5'7" though. Sorry, I just don't date men below 6 feet." This is funny, is because if that's her preference, and she loses out on her preference, at least she did things on her terms. Everybody's not gonna like you. Is a fact of life for whatever reason. And then I get it. This is why the whole weight thing comes into the conversation, because of things such as height and your stature in society, which are, the height may not be fixable. The stature in society can be. But, I believe that most of us brothers up to this point have accepted that we're not going to get every woman. This cartoon was probably put together by someone who has a real problem with this. And approaching the issues of heightism, we should try to stay, try to keep it down to a few isms. You know, the thing that negates that type of onset of terminology is the fact that you have to understand and consider that there are 7 billion people on this planet, and you don't have to stay to a centralized group of people, a centralized group of women. You don't. This 2022, you ain't got to do it no more. As much as brothers are shamed for going outside, like, shoot, you still have that option. The dick police has no jurisdiction. They don't. I'm 5'7" though. Like I say, either she's sitting down or she's really short. Hell, back in my day, I've gone at a couple of tall women. Shoot, some tall women kind of sexy. Some. We ain't talking about one that looked like Brittany Griner or anything like that. It just I don't know. These kind of things. I just posted that one to make a point. Let me see. Yeah, funny, smart, funny. Man, this is one right here that I'm still having conflict with to this day. Remember when I made this video right here? And I'm glad I have an opportunity to explain this one to some black folks. I was like, they still mad about this one. This is classic Kev. This video got ratioed and the comments are triggered. Um, Name of the video is called Grown Ass Pale Devil Cowardly Attacks Black Girl Under 12. Man. And I think I'm still getting jumped in the I get like a snarky comment every now and again on that video. And the ethnicity of most of the negative comments were coming from. The one thing I do notice is when they're being like that, black people stay clear. I'm not expecting an onset of black folks that are willing to go into the charge with me and respond to a lot of these jackass one-sided I ain't gonna say conservative, Republican leaning shit, sometimes Democrat too. Yeah, because let's face it, in this day and age, and for a while, and maybe forever, that party's never been for us. But the funniest thing is always being called a racist by a person of another ethnicity. Like that, it's in my top 5 funniest things ever. But this is by Bread Boy 6. Shut up! Oh my God! They they were trying to jump his daughter. He is not racist, and she was rushing him, and he had every right to defend himself. And you just want to start things, man. Look, this is what I tell anybody. These things don't start with me. They start with other folks, and then I just happen to do a video on them. Yeah, but I got like over 100 dislikes on that video. So anyone that is black or melanated, skin colored, toned, or whatever you want to identify as, yeah, not everyone black took my side on this. It was probably the one thing that a lot of black people did disagree with me on. I don't know. He threw a haymaker at that girl, and I didn't like. I don't know if y'all remember this, but there was this guy. I guess he was being surrounded by a group of us in our highest of spirits, our emotional spirits. Like, because if you look at it objectively, yeah, they were surrounding him and kind of called themselves trying to get at him or whatever. And then the little girl ran up on him and he laid that girl out. And, I kind of laid it on thick in that video. I mean, I'll stand by it, but if he was protecting himself, he was protecting himself. I'll say that. They don't. I'm one of those people. There's like there are people out there that don't need saving, and I believe that the guy that was in question in this video right here, grown ass pale devil cowardly attacks black girl under 12. I believe that he belongs to that group of men. And anything to trigger a racist to me, that shit. Uh, I don't know. I get some amusement out of it. Oh yeah, Deshaun O'Connor. Let's see. This young man right here, Deshaun O'Connor. He said, "Good girls are found in every corner of the earth, but unfortunately, the earth is round." That could be a very red pill statement. Let me look up one here in particular. Let me see if they show his comment. Oh, here you go. Mark Nash. Now, Mark Nash, cool guy, content creator. Yeah. But, bruh, let's see. He says, I get it. It's funny, but consider the alternative. He wants boys. Nah, fam. All right. It was a funny meme. Could have been Photoshop for all we know. But it was a witty crack. I don't think in anything that this young man said or have implied to have says in any way, shape, or form that he does not want girls. It doesn't say that. You just said good. Hell, the alternative could have been bad girls. Shoot. Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes brothers be trying to aim high and then they find out that their aim is not that good. Is I don't get where we gotta stop this whole thinking that women are just getting attacked or something like that. I thought it was very witty and somewhat scientifically factual for those flat earthers out there. Not to say that the earth is a perfect round shape, but shoot. So, yeah, I think I spent enough time in this. If it's your first time here, subscribe to my channel. Greg, what's going on? D. Scott, Lotus Scalper. Ra L, what's going on? Kansas City Cobra. Lotus Scalper says SYSBM is the only way forward. I don't know what kind of defenses y'all put up for that because there's a lot of guys out there that really try to poke fun at that. But, to each his own. Jeffrey Whitlock, why Skinner Man Cave? Go through some of these do some of these comments. More return said most don't have a choice but to go SYSBM. Yeah, let's see. Is there anything? I'm just trying to see if there's anything that I missed in the comments. You know, Ray Hummer, the Hummer Force. What's going on? Oh, Path. Pat said 90% of men's issues would go away if we weren't so coochie hungry. The bad bug nature gets black men into a lot of issues. Um, I don't necessarily like the words bed bug because that terminology was created to have an answer to the words bed wench. I was there when it happened. um, as far as the creation of the terminology. But if you're saying bad buck as in uh, men who think that just fucking are good is going to solve everything, then I'll probably go along with that. Greg with the $20 super chat. I appreciate it. Says, long live the habitual line steppers. It more eternal. We are winning. All right. Appreciate the support. Hybrid says, my boy got suspended from his job because a chick he worked with asked him what he looks for in a woman. He said she has to have good coochie because it's what's on the inside. Oh man, that was the answer of the year. I'm sure his bosses felt like that was cool. Oh man, I mean, sorry about He said she laughed with him, and then 3 days later he was suspended. Oh yeah, because she all of a sudden got offended by what the man said. That is not our value in a woman. I mean, I'd be like, you'd be surprised. The Knight's Palace says, heck, if you have a bird brains having kids for just an extra $300 stimulus check, now that's RVW is overturned unborn child support. Right up these heifer sleeve. S by SBM, no skeet skeet, no skeet, no more raw. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Glad you said that because I always try to tell brothers and anyone who participates in the act of unprotected sex that, especially if you're young and fertile and virile, yeah, you got to be prepared for the consequences that will happen after you decide to go inside someone raw. You can't just like just nut up in a bitch and then just act like you can just walk away. I mean, even if she doesn't get pregnant and even if you don't catch an STD, shit, you still might have to deal with crazy. For Hydra said that chicks threatened to be celibate because they were upset about Roe v. Wade. Man, the ones threatened to be celibate. I mean, the ones that did that threat, they were the ones that no one really wants to holler at or give some kind of rides to. Like the blue-haired, morbidly obese ones. Yeah, let me stop being like that. Says, fellas, be careful with your baby making batter. Put that hot sauce on the condom if you must. Man, it was a content creator, man, that said that was sadistic of Drake to do. Like anyone laughing at that, we need help. I guess I need help. What the hell you trying to do anyway? It's like, oh man, look at the condom. It's got this red stuff floating in it, but might as well take a chance. Like the fuck out of here with that. I don't feel sorry for you. Shoot, but they do have that. They got that law where they say that you can be put on child support while the baby's pregnant in the womb. So be careful out there, folks. That's that power that they talking about that we don't have that everyone else does. The Knights, the Knights Palace says these crazy chicks will hit you with papers up to 3 weeks after you hit it. Yeah, BW, good luck on catching the next generation of suckers. Here's the one thing that fellas just need to do. Just I would tell you like they told me when I was in high school in the early '90s, but I know you're probably not gonna go through all these steps. Like get a condom with a spermicidal lubricant. That's literally what they told me in 10th grade. Get a condom with a spermicidal lubricant just to make sure there's no oops baby. The man said, now I'll try to get the one that before that. I'll read that one too. Said the funny thing is they don't want to address the intention of the broad to go fishing for the condom. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is you putting strange fluids inside of you. Yeah. Said the NBA and NFL has seminars discouraging the players from messing with these 304s. It affects their performance, money, and overall product of the association. Yeah, because it comes so easy. It comes so easy. They're all athletes. Like they're in shape. Like of course they got girls waiting on them like any given Sunday type deal. Partying and just oh man, forgot the rubbers. I ain't think this was gonna happen for the 80th time. Like shoot. But in Drake's situation, he had rubbers. But yeah, I mean, you mess up and get. I mean, you mess up and get one of them pregnant. That's a dream come true for them. They get to get in on them fortune off that NFL, NBA money. Shoot, and then a lot of these brothers are stupid enough to go for it, like P.J. Washington. That motherfucker, Brittany Renner, threw that thing on him and just 18 years. 18 years. And that's why they have those seminars. And you know what's the funny part about those brothers? All of them think that they're the exception. Like they're like they are the ones that's not gonna end up in that dumb situation. Yeah, man, I'm gonna put it on her so good. I'm gonna have this successful career with all these rings and shit. And then end up messing themselves up because she gets the money that you earning at your height, not at your low point, your height. So I guess everybody has dreams that they can be Michael Jordan, but shit, Michael Jordan was married when he was doing all that stuff. He ain't had that baby mama drama. Shoot, I'm sure he's had his share of poontang, but you know, ain't no Brittany Renters out there. I don't know unless I'm not paying attention to anything, or there's been some report that Mike has an outside child. Outside of that, shit, Dane one says Roe v. Wade is a blessing in disguise for the black population. I don't. I mean, I'll say it like this. I don't see how it was ever our problem. I just don't see. I mean, I get it from a men's rights standpoint, but how was it ever our problem? People just complain about what we're told to complain about. That's all. That's my only point. We're just told what to complain about, and that's it. Shoot, Roe v. Wade. Our rights are being taken away. It's like there's other options. There are other options. You can't just be careful. You can't just act right. I mean, I'm not saying you got to, but I mean there are consequences for certain behaviors. I mean, people don't understand that. And wow, guess what, y'all? I got a dislike on this very stream right here, so you know how we do it.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze. Damn.
Thank you, Phil Brad. Whoa, TMI. Oh, Jesus. He said, just kidding. Said hybrid catastrophic impact X-83 power. 52 million black babies aborted since the inception of Roe v. Wade. Oh, and here's another thing about Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade was started on a lie. She lied and said that a black man raped her. So she had to get an abortion. And not only did she never get an abortion, she lied, and it caused the one of the biggest Supreme Court cases in history. The man said, Greg said, for my 14th birthday, my father gave me a box of natural lamb condoms. Mm. That was your father telling you that he wasn't stupid, that he knows and understands that things can happen without him being present. Dan one said my girl got pregnant, and I was like, "We keeping it. I got a mixed kid. My daughter is Filipino." Hmm. Hybrid said she didn't even want to get the abortion at the end of the day. No, she lied and said a black guy did it. And then black people all over the place talking about some riots. Oh man, it's our riots. It's our riots. Like, shut up. Shit. Man said start saving that child support money. Yeah, man. But let me see if I can segue back into the whole discussion of why we keep having this ongoing trend of, you know, being everybody's punchline and doing it to ourselves. Doing it to ourselves. I've said on many occasions that black men have HNIC complex. I've said it, and it seems to stand above all of it. Said my kid is 18. I have a superhero based off her. Huh. Say it, man. Just keep pushing, man. Just keep creating. That so much of the culture in the West are sheep and followers. They fall right into all these ridiculous agendas. Yeah. You said Highlander complex. Yeah. That's when I say HNIC complex, that's what I'm talking about. Highlander complex. How and this was one that was this was one that was always like enforced to me when I was a kid, is that you gotta do what you can to look the absolute best in front of these women. And according to many of us, according to many of us now in 2022, that mentality is what got us into the situation that we're in the first place. Always trying to concentrate on what impresses her. Mm. Well, anyway, see, check out something real quick. Hey, let me drop this link. Anybody wants to come up? If not, I'll I'll go ahead and start on the pathway to closing this one. Yeah. But yeah, I think last time I checked, I had 34 likes. So if you're in here and you haven't pressed that like yet, go ahead and hit it. Like I said earlier, I had a dislike, which is awesome. Israel said black men were taught by thought moms they can't lead and to hate masculinity, keeping them in a boy-like state when adults. They hate black masculinity they see from actual black men. Yeah. Yeah, is I don't know, I see a lot of that kind of mentality in the old versus young dynamic. Yeah, the condition seems to be present within guys who have like not any real male influence. Like I've had adult when I was growing up, I had adult male influences that were positive in my life. I understand that a lot of males don't have that per se. Dudes like talking like they ain't got no father, but then they come to spaces like this and be mad at men that are my age for not filling that void. Yep, masculinity does demand a lot. Yeah, you have to be a really on point person. Said their mothers can't teach them squat about being men. My, my Here's my deal with stuff like that is said. It seems that, like I said, back in the early part of the 20th century, when a lot of black husbands were either on the run from murderous white supremacists, but murdered and lynched, that what happened with those sons? Those sons seem to have it a bit more figured out than the sons from today's single mother. I mean, it could be anywhere from tragedy makes us a very strong people because of the emotional effect that it has on us, or the women back then got something right that a lot of these other little ones of today keep getting wrong. Day one says, I hated men because I was hard headed. I was into boxing. My uncles and brothers helped me with manhood. Yeah, you had strong male you know, you had strong male figures in your life. If you didn't have that, only imagine what you would become because of that. And we see that a lot in boys of today. Nice Palace said that's because the church was strong back then. Hmm. Says today it's a baby mama temple. Yeah. RPM said I had my father and grandfather. Both were Marines. Yeah. I had my father, I had grandfather, I had uncle, I had brothers, I had cousins. And I mean, like, the ones that would get into trouble, they wouldn't get into too much trouble. I mean, if any of them strayed off the path, there was always a man to pop up, pop us in the head and make us act right. Said my granddad gave me my work ethic. My granddad in particular, he was a very strong man. I didn't meet my other granddad because he died when my father was a teenager. Joe's. I gotta ask what my grandfather's name was. Hmm. Okay, don't have the answer for that one either. I'm sorry. Oh, but he goes on to say, I legit don't know them. I legit don't know them either of my parents' side. Oh, hmm. Howard says it's so ridiculous when women that hit the wall become repackaged virgins and respect the mess. The next man to wait 3 months and pay more than the man that slutted her out. Repackaged virgins. What an interesting topic. No, not topic. What an interesting label. Re. I don't see how you could do that. That's like me wearing a pair of drawers for like a year and then washing them and thinking them I can take them back to the store. The man said Joe said he's kind of embarrassed about that. I don't think you should be too embarrassed of the things you cannot control. But I mean, if that's what's going on in your family, I'm just a guy on the internet. Don't let me tell you how to feel about that. Rael says elder men help you become men. I'm doing a stream soon on masculinity, how to develop it, and how important elders are in the process. You're made a man through masculine initiation. Okay, man. Well, shit. Make sure to drop a link or something. Drop a link. I'll put it in a community tab. Says in the '90s they were called born again virgins. They tried that hustle already. Didn't work then. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. The ideal of the born again virgin to me was ridiculous because you probably already got set out in a lot. I mean, especially for the females, set out in all kinds of ways and so much and just slut it all the way out, and then all of a sudden you think you could just take that all back. I'm tired of all this fucking. I think I'll become a born again virgin. Fuck out of here. Concept is always stupid. What up, Judge?
How are you doing?
I'm all right. What's the haps?
It happens. I just saw that I just actually turned over. I hit the button. I saw that you were live, so I came to see what you were doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just talking at this point, but discussing, the only trend that never dies in the community.
What's that? Why we won't come back, or which one? They got so many dumb questions.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know. Yeah, that
I
can be
mean,
read all kinds of ways, but
like, how do you want me to answer it? I can answer it. What's the question?
no, it's just like with brothers and how we always come back to this point of conflict.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not even gonna lie. It's kind of our fault. They realize we are in a. They realize it's our fault on this aspect. Our fault is because we're gonna have to do something difficult that people. And you really hate to say you're gonna take a lot. You think that you get shamed and stuff talked about now. You're gonna have to get little bit meaner. We realize if we want to realize, we know what works. What we know what works is to scream, yell about it, do stupid shit. That works because that's exactly what they've done, and they've gotten what they wanted. Unfortunately, If we want to level a playing field, we're gonna have to stop. We're gonna just like fight fire with fire. I mean, and unfortunately, it might be frowned upon, but it's there's two ways you can do it. Like one of the things I was coming up to the other day, and I said, "Well, what would you do? Like, say I'm leading all men. What you need to tell the men is this: yes, you need to tell the men that one, your country and the way society is doesn't care about you, and you say that you don't care about your happiness, your well-being, your safety, or anything. So what you need to do is say, okay, they don't care about me whatsoever, and no reason at all. So what you need to do first thing is put yourself first when it comes to everything. I mean, you don't do anything without thinking, what am I getting for this? Am I getting paid? Am I getting laid? Am I getting anything? How does this benefit me in any type of way? If I'm not getting anything out of it, you don't do it at all. I mean, unfortunately, that's what you have to do. And the beautiful thing, you have an advantage as men because most of the time we've been, like, say if the men said tomorrow, okay, fuck it. You know, we don't get any say so, or we're not going to get looked at fairness in court when it comes to seeing our kids. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to have any more kids. Under no circumstances do you have any children. Period. Say, men say, just look and say, we're not going to have any kids until we're guaranteed 50-50 custody, or we're not going to procreate. Period.
Okay. Okay, and what is the end goal of this?
The end goal is to the end goal is to level the playing field. I said because see, this is the problem. If you don't have like the reason why the communitah and all like that, why be a part of the communitah and do the work what it takes to help and maintain the communitah if you have no say so in the communitah?
Mm,
It's like basically it's like saying, you know, I'm going to do all the work and have to do this and add the extra stress and worry about this, that, and the other. And then I say, today we should eat, pork chops instead of ribs. Nope. I mean, you as I have them say so. When people feel like they are not part of it, why participate? That's the reason why black people that really stopped going to church. Like I was sitting there listening to one of our friends online. You're my friend on Facebook, and she was talking about why black people, why a lot of black men aren't in the church. Well, you made it seem like you kind of been alienated. You don't get no say so, or everything is about what more you should do. So anyway, you adding all of this extra shit to my plate, but you ain't taking nothing off, or I don't get any benefits of the doubt. I mean, it's like saying this: why the fuck I'm gonna go work a seven? If somebody told you, okay, you work 40 hours a week and you get $1,000, right? Then they say next week, no, now you work. We need you to work 60 hours a week, but you still get $1,000. How many people gonna work to 60, or you just gonna say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take my 40 and go"? You know what I'm saying? There's no benefit for all that extra work by you joining, being part of the community. That's more extra work to really if you really care about the place and want to take it up. It's extra work. You need to be compensated for the extra stuff, or you need to at least feel like you have a part of it. Why volunteer for the extra work and all the other stuff if I have no say so in the community? I can't make any rules. Basically, the only thing is you gonna say is, oh well, you know what? Instead of the 60 hours a week you work now, you need to do 63. And you're like, well, wait a minute, I'm already tired. Well, I know, but you really now. Matter of fact, you need to do 64. Well, do you think? No, matter of fact, 68. And I'm like, well, then you sit up here and look at it and say, well, cost benefit analyze. You say, well, why the fuck am I even here? I can just go over here and do the 40 for the 1,000. I'm gonna go over there and do the 40 for the 1,000 and call it a day.
mm,
And they realize that that's what some of these younger people are doing. This whole thing, especially over in China, they call it laying flat or let it rot or whatever you want to call it. If you see, it's actually coming over here. And they even start to, some of the smart people are starting to realize that. And even the top bigwigs are. Some of the businesses are starting to realize that. When men aren't trying to get women, they don't work as hard. They're not as productive. They're not trying to be on the cutting edge. Stuff like that. It's a reason why. If someone says, like, someone says, oh, okay, and no matter what, you're not going to be in a relationship or you're not going to get any type of respect. Most men will say, well, fuck it. I'll just work the X amount of hours I need to support my life at a minimum I need it, and I'm not doing anything extra. I don't give a shit as long as I got me. And that's the thing. You don't want men to adopt a mentality like the women have. Like, oh, if I ain't getting shit, I ain't doing nothing. When men do that, when the men who would do the dangerous jobs and stuff like that, do the cutting edge shit, you don't want a big group of men doing that. Society can't function that way. And they're starting to see that now. It's like that's all over in China. They got this thing. That's what I said. It's called. If you don't look it up, it's called laying flat or let it rot. They got a couple other names. Like literally, there's like the one reason with the Roe v. Wade thing. That's just a reason as this is. They realize the people aren't having kids, so we need to cut. Maybe make it to where we can keep as many children as possible because these people ain't having kids. I mean, when you see a lot of men that are getting to 30 and being a virgin, I mean, those numbers are steadily increasing. You see, like 52% of black men don't have children. You understand what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Well, you said
Less and less.
62% of men don't have children.
Yeah.
Black men.
I mean, men don't have children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people, just think about it. You would think with all the kids I have that one of them would have popped out a child yet. Nope. Especially, I mean, and I always said if anyone's going to have a child first, it'd probably be my youngest son because he's a ladies' man. But, even you see, it's like they look at it as all I do is get all the costs, but I get no benefits. Why play the fucking game? I mean, they were worried about the MGTOW and stuff like that. You don't realize it's not MGTOW or whatever you want to call it, red pill or whatever. It's that the people are seeing, wait a minute, what benefits do I have? I have none. I don't have a say so in the child's life, this, that, or the other. They can take, I mean, then you look at it on top of this. Society says, I can be canceled, or I can lose my job, or I can do any other little thing, or I piss the wrong person off and they can just say something and I'd be canceled. Why work hard? Why work? I think about this. Like, if I told you, why work hard if somebody can take it all away on a lie? And even after we find out that a person was lying, the person that lies, there's no consequence for them. I mean, how many people do you think would look at it right away? Like they're not as strong as us in our age group. Like, but just take 10 or 15 years off, in that younger group. How many years ago? Wait a minute. You're going to tell me that I need to work hard, build this, that, and the other. And then somebody can just come tell a lie and destroy my whole, thing. And everything that I've worked hard for, what's the point of working hard? On top of that, which you got the participation trophy where you want to give everybody, even the weakest people, the same amount. There's no reason to stand out. Why do the extra work?
Mm.
I mean, like, unfortunately, chickens have come home. It's like we're reaping what we sowed. We thought it was a nice thing to say. But once you start to eliminate the competition, it's a problem. That's the reason why more of our women are fat because back in the day, it was everyone competing. Now it's damn near like 60% or 70% of women are overweight. You know? I mean, back in
Mm.
the day, we'd never be saying body shaming. Wait a minute. No, if you were fat, you get talked about. That stopped 20 probably percent of people alone. You worried about the 5% that might have jumped off a bridge because they were fat or people talking about them. Yeah. What about the 90? What about the uh 30 or the 40% of people that now you done killed from diabetes and shit like that? All the shit that comes with being overweight.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You worried about the 5% that mentally couldn't take the stress and killed themselves. But now you done killed 30% because you got diabetes, high blood pressure, all these other things. Got more chance of getting cancer because the more cells you have. More cells you have, the more likely you'd have a deformity, which can mutate. Right?
Yeah.
I
Know
mean,
all about that one.
that's all cancer is. Like, well, think about it. Back in the day when you were younger, it was very, like, think about back when you were in fourth grade. How many fat women was it within your class? And like, go up to a school and sit there now. Watch how many fat girls there are.
Mm. Yeah, it was the anomaly.
Right? It was one or two, maybe three. Now you go to half of them are.
Mm. People, I mean, here's the thing with that. We are not a people that are known for our health.
Right. Well, but not eating right and doing what you're supposed to do helps you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's just basically cause and effect. It's not that it's the fact that it's cause and effect. It's a reason why all these Indians out here going out there and they're getting their MDs and all like that. Because they got to take care of all these fat people that we didn't create it. We created a thing where, oh, you don't have to worry about your weight, this, that, and the other. But then the Achilles heel is, wait a minute. You don't have to worry about your weight. You don't need to eat right. You don't need to eat healthy. You don't need to exercise. You don't do all this. And then now you're sitting up here with high blood pressure, cholesterol out the wazoo, obese. And I mean, like literally. I mean, back in the day, you would never, they wouldn't even have enough people to make the shows like My 600-Pound Life. I'm going out at Home Depot. I'm laughing at people every day. Like you saw that picture I posted in the group. Did you see that picture?
Mm.
Go to your group and look at that picture I posted.
Okay.
Maybe you can pull it up. That's the picture I took. And it's like for real. And I'm like, black people, we got to do better.
Mm. Trying to see where this picture is. Probably somewhere down the feed.
Oh, I can pull the picture up now if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. Let's see. Is it on this phone or is it on the other phone? That's on the phone I'm talking on actually, and I'll have to go out of stream yards. But here, go to just post it. Black man, we got to do better. That's one that she's standing in there, and I mean, she's a young girl.
Oh
And
God.
like,
Just
yeah,
I said, black people, we gotta do better. Why come out the house like this?
yeah. Now you want to show the picture? Go ahead and show the picture. If you want to show it,
Let me, yeah, let me, hold on 1 second.
and I mean, to know that that's a young kid with all that cellulite on them already. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? That's horrible.
Beyond.
That girl was like 24 max.
Yeah, I'm trying to, let me figure out how to put this on the screen real quick.
I mean, right? That was like 24 max. And I sit there and joke because I was joking with my cousin. Now, yeah, you might hear, I might talk about people, but I don't talk about them to their face unless they come out and give me, like, say something to me. So I don't try to be hurting people's feelings. I'm
Yeah.
out doing that. But the fact is, I used to say, well, goddamn, that bitch, she's so fat. You see all the flab hanging down over the elbow. Like, that bitch ain't never hit her funny bone in her life. All that flab, you got the like built-in elbow pads.
Good Lord. Hold on.
God, I'm like, literally, like, look at those thigh, and you like, oh my gosh, what? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you come out the house looking like that.
Just this one moment. Let me see
Mm-hmm.
something.
You be like, God, dog. And then you wonder, you sitting up here and like, man, you know that they loving this because I'm like, yeah, all y'all gonna be is just burned up like that, or you gonna be parts. Because I mean, that is just horrible. But what's
All
so bad?
right. I think I got it now.
I mean, that tell the truth, that's horrible. Ain't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's
And
pretty bad.
then think about this. Now think about this here. That and the fact of yeah, and the fact of when you sit up here and say, okay, now say you are a young man and you got to think about this. If I have a kid, I got no say so in the child's life. If I do any of these things wrong, I'm gonna be basically a slave to the state until my days are numbered. I
Mm,
this, that, and the other. I mean, like literally, most people say, "Well, fine, if I have a kid, at least I can take care of them and see them, this, that, and the other. I can live my life and just worry about their happiness." But nowadays, they can take your kid away. You don't get like nothing's guaranteed like that. Once you start taking away like some of the things, then you like, what's the point of trying? I mean,
man,
like here's the question. I mean, look here, Kevin. Like, what's the point of trying? If I told you that okay, you can just live your life, say work 10 hours a week, 10 hours a week, and all your expenses be paid. You may not drive the flashiest car, but you will live all right and live a comfortable life. Or if I said, but if you work 60 hours a week, you got a chance at being a millionaire, but you got to work 60 hours instead of the 10. How many people you think gonna work the 60 for that? You know what I mean? Just for a chance.
mm,
That's too many. Well, some people are like, fuck it, I just take the 10 and be, you understand what I'm saying?
mm,
I take the 10 and be comfortable with that and just live within my means. That's basically what they've dumbed life down to. And then you're wondering why these people aren't trying hard.
mm.
But all these jobs are empty. Everybody and they motherfucker is hiring. And then, I mean, to the point to where even the people that can work can't work. Like, there's a dude trying to get me to come work for their company. They got 650 apartments. And the dude's like, man, I need you to get you on our team. I need somebody like you that can do everything. And it's that and the other. So I'm up here like the two people that he got working there. I'm like, so what? He said, yeah, one dude I'm working with, he said he's put a toilet in, but he's never put a toilet together in before. I'm like, what the
Mm.
fuck? I'm like, well, literally, it's that bad? Y'all can't find a person who's never took a toilet off the box and put it together? I mean, like, for real? You're doing property maintenance
Man, you wouldn't
and
believe
you
how
put a toilet together?
dumb people are these days.
Right, but the fact is, when you're sitting here begging people like that, and it's just like, wow. And he's like, man, I just really need you to. He said, he's like, yeah, trying to light a fire up under their ass to see if they can get you to come work for us because we need people like you on our team, you know. But
Man, but you took this picture in a local business.
that's at the McDonald's on Collywood on the corner of 152nd and St. Clair.
Oh man.
Matter of
And
fact, if you look at
she
the
thought
top.
it was a good idea to come out the house looking like that.
And what's so bad is if you, matter of fact, go to say if you look at the top of the picture, it says where it was taken at. Because I just screenshotted it after I zoomed in so you could see. Oh, I take a lot of pictures of people. My phone full of pictures of people because we be talking about it. Like, look at this person. Look at this person. This god ghetto mess. They just came out the house looking like that, and you just like, yeah, she's at the McDonald's on 152nd and St. Clair.
Hmm.
McDonald's right there. What they call it, 5 points.
I guess she thought she was gonna catch herself another baby daddy.
I was just like,
Man, let me tell you something, man. The mentality of people who actually step out the house like this is it's mind numbing. I mean, because Like I come from a time where people would actually approach you and would be like, "The fuck you doing?" It's like nobody's approaching these people. I mean, I get that. I wouldn't suggest anybody just go ahead and approach somebody and to be like, "Look, man, look, sister, you can't be coming out the house looking like that. That shit's embarrassing." Because you're gonna be subject to a child match, and like it or not, somebody like this can always find a goon to come hurt you.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things too. I'm like, where I need to really start making videos. You should never. I don't give a damn what the woman says. Never take a woman's word and go off fighting anybody. Period. Because you see,
Yeah.
like literally, like just like I've seen women lie about stuff, or they super exaggerate. And like, one of the things I've noticed, remember I told you I was dating a chick, and she had a dude in jail, this, that, and the other. And I've been seeing where I've been the dude where, oh no, we just messing around. I'm like, okay, cool with that. But then she left the dude in jail for me. And then I've been the other way around where, well, so and so getting out of jail, and they left me for the dude in jail. So I've been on both ends of that, to where it's like, I don't want. Well, one of the things that I think the men just really need to know, look at it like this: if say you wanted this woman to date this woman, and you needed her to do all of these, this, and this to make you happy, and she wouldn't do that shit, right?
Like what was
Don't
at the
look
top
at
of the
it
list?
as
Losing weight.
just say whatever. Say you need four things. Say you need four things. Say I need these four things to make me happy. And the woman said, "Hell no, I ain't doing that shit." Right? And then, but
Yeah,
then you might see
audacity.
her. But listen. You might see her 3, 4 years later, and she's doing those four things and 10 more. Don't look at it as this. Let's look at it as she didn't like you enough to do that for. Look at it as there's always going to be one. So just look at it as she didn't like you. That don't take it as a bad thing on you. Hey man, she didn't like you enough to do that for you. So the good thing is you just move on. Don't always look at it as there's something wrong with you. Just say, hey man, she didn't like me enough to do that for me, and just call it a day. That's all you can do.
Talking about this one on the screen.
No, not that one. Or you mean you talking to a person in the chat?
Oh, okay.
That's,
Good God.
yeah,
Yeah, like because most guys will look at her and be like, "God damn, looks like I dodged a bullet there."
yeah.
Yeah, this looks like this been going on since high school. Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, people, but reality hits us harder than some of the other folks in here. I mean, god damn. Like, I mean, let me tell you something. I've been to parts of town where I'm at, and
Hmm.
I've seen this.
Yeah. Oh, I hate to say something. I see it all the time, especially when I was doing the gig work and all like that. Because don't lie, I had stopped doing the gig. I had stopped working on houses for a while because I was doing the gig work just bullshitting, and I was making 450, $500 a day. And I mean, you're doing gig work and you clearing 450, $500 a day. I'll do admit I do better than most. Like I'm in that top 5%.
Mm,
Most people ain't making that much. Most people they would think a $300 day. I could do a $300 day in my sleep.
mm.
Now the money ain't there in that no more. So as you see, I'm back working on my houses again. But I mean, like literally, I was making so much money on the gig work. I didn't have to worry about getting dirty and all like that. To where even my customer who had always called me, they would call and be like, "Well, do you still work on houses? Because I know." And it was just like, yeah, because I was making
Man,
so much
but
money on the gig work. The gig work was a lot easier. Didn't have to worry about. And then I ain't gonna lie. I liked it. The fact is because when you work on the houses, you kind of by yourself or in your small little group. The gig work, I'm out. I like to socialize with people. I rub my mouth with everybody. And I'm one of those people as you see here. Either you like me or you hate me. Because I got some people that hate my guts. And you know me, I'm one of those ones where I don't have no problem with that. You try to hurt my feelings, I will definitely talk about
this
you.
man said, I'll just look.
Oh man,
Nah, I'm
yeah,
looking at one of your older posts.
Which one?
I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
Mhm.
No, hold on one second. Oh shit.
she, chick shake like a UPS truck. I like that.
Hold on one second. Let me put this up here if I can get me to
Somebody
the
said
damn
her
phone.
leg looked like the KFC original chicken skin. Oh,
Oh my
hell
god.
no. I like that. Well, you see, you know me, I don't have no problem. Like, like one of my things is this. And see, one of the things I think that I wish that I could, like, if I could get all black men to do this, like, if I could do two things I'd change. All black men. For now, when a broad get cocky and she talks shit out in public, bust her down, like crack on her. I mean, period. Don't just take the shit and go. She step out of line. Like, just give an example. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, and y'all probably gonna take it. I swung on a female actually 4 days ago, but I didn't swing to hit her in the face. I swing to hit her hand.
Yeah. Now the picture I got on display right now is the post that
I
you
mean,
had did like over a year ago. And you
yeah,
said all you said was what's going on here.
all right. What's going on in this picture?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's a chick I follow. That's the chick who posted that picture. I think her name is. You want me to say the name or no?
Yeah.
Face Cox.
Face
She's always
Cox. All
face
right.
Face Cox.
Face Cox. Oh, okay.
Face Cox.
Okay.
And
Well,
she all
either
like
way.
it's yeah, like she always posting pictures and shit like that. And it's just like at one time she posted, I'm like, all right, look, you know what? It's like now it's getting like they taking the body positivity movement shit too fucking far, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Hey, let me read one of the comments on that very post. This is a female. She says, "Wow, another hurtful post. As if there aren't hordes of obese women and men of every ethnicity. But of course, many in this group don't care for it, like nor love their black mamas, grandmothers, aunties, sisters. These women could be celebrating a medical triumph, a birthday, a wedding, or
no,
just sisterhood. Sometimes
no,
I think this group
them both.
sometimes I
Go
think this group should be called some black men being brutally hateful."
ahead. Right, yeah. No, the best one I got where there was like, what's going on in this picture? They said they're waiting on Uber Eats.
Oh shit.
That was the best one. The comment that somebody made. And I sit there and laugh when he's doing the gig work like that. It would be some houses where I think about that for how many drivers out there and you went to the same house twice in a day.
Mm, mm, mm. Man said I'm the most
They were like testing that floor.
professional demand.
Right? Can you imagine the floorboards under that motherfucker on that in that room?
Oh man. I mean, well, you'll be there to fix it, huh?
Hey man, that's job security, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, you'll be there to fix
Yeah,
it,
that's job security right there.
huh?
That's got to, let's see, if I had to, like, so, I done dated a lot of people, so I can tell you. That's, oh, wow, that's like, if I can bet my nuts on it that's at least, uh, let's see. Oh man, that's like 3,300 pounds in that room. Minimum. Minimum. I would, if I had to say, because the chick who posted them pictures, let's see which one is the main. I'll tell you which one is the. It's.
I mean, it's all good, man. It's all good.
But the chick who posted that picture, I mean, that's like, I mean, like literally, you could have a jacuzzi in that room and have four people in there, and that still wouldn't be equal that much weight. Like literally. Every one of them is there's no the smallest one is probably the one in the back in the red head, and she's like 240.
Uh, Man said Division One football level.
Um,
Goddamn Lance Parker.
I ain't gonna lie. If that was your like, say you have five of them as your front line, you ain't never sacking a quarterback. I'm just letting you know, you ain't never getting through that line. They just stand there. You ain't pushing that out the way.
No, not at all.
You take that first row, and they had it maybe that one in the back on the right, and that's your five. You ain't getting through there. That quarterback, you had to wake his ass up. He could take a nap during the snap, take a nap, get up, make his phone call, drink a cup of coffee, then throw the ball. I mean, like literally, literally, that line would be so tough that you like literally all you'd have to do is score one time, and then just have that come out. You snap the ball. And your defensive line will be trying to get there. They'll run the whole game clock out to be the next quarter.
That
You be
man
like,
said
"Quarter."
That man said celestial body bitches. Good lord. Well, y'all savage down there. Hey, let me show y'all another picture. Recognize that guy?
Okay. Yeah. Scotty.
Old Scottie Pippen.
What about
With
him?
yeah, look like those are 80s style women.
Hmm. Oh, well, just give an example. Just like I said, it's, and somebody get on me because they'll say, "Well, Dre, didn't you like big women?" I did. I'm not even gonna lie, I did. But this is the problem. Back in the day, they were a lot nicer. They wasn't that big. You didn't have the attitude. They tried really hard. It's like, well, fuck. If I got to go through all of this shit, I hate to say something with the attitude after like, if you're not a dime, goodbye. I mean, it's just really what it is. I mean, can you imagine, like, okay, go back to that other picture. Can you imagine, like, that girl with the bonnet on giving you problems?
No, I would stay the fuck away from that bitch.
No, but I'm just saying, like, can you, but I mean, what's so bad is the girl with the bonnet, that's about the average chick nowadays.
Mm.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting up there like, I remember I walked. Remember that time you seen me out there took a picture of a couple of restaurants. How many times do you see the women actually at a healthy weight? All of them overweight.
Mm.
They all overweight.
Well,
Remember,
we
I
we
said,
gotta we gotta change the way we look at health.
well, this is the problem. I said, it's like I had them going in there. I said, well, what do you expect? Because see, you know me, I'm outspoken. And see, this is the bad thing when I'm around people when they talk shit. I said, it's only two things you can guarantee a black woman has: overweight and attitude. Those come standard on all black women.
Mm.
I said, that's like standard. And I remember a chick, I said, which one is it, overweight or an attitude? And then first I'm up, see, I must hit a dog. You hear somebody, because somebody, people, I be holding my conversation when I'm talking to my dude. Because he's the same thing doing the gig work too in the daytime. He's like, yeah, man, we was. And I'm like, look at that. Evidently, so yeah, and people, oh my gosh, you said, look at that. Why you butting in my conversation? It's like the one who almost got. I was in a restaurant. You remember that day, that video I showed you, when a woman got flying Family Dollar, and I told her like, you saw me turn around, you saw all the men there. I told them, you better get one of these simps nigga to take your ass with me, because you come over here and swing, I'm beating the brakes off your ass. I turned around and looked at all the men there. I said, one of y'all step up, I'm beating your ass. And one is like, you remember the dude in the video said, I ain't no simp. Just like when there was a white woman who stood up where I was the other day, because I was talking to this dude. I said, man, look, you need to talk to this chick. She need to get laid or something, because she just acting. I don't got no problem. Once you try to diss me, I'm gonna talk about your ass and I'll crack on you. I figure I can't hit women off the rip, but I can damn sure talk about your ass. So I'm like, man, she need to get laid or something. I was like, I know you done post wall hit, you done hit this, that, and the other. So this white woman stood up and said, excuse me, sir, you need to. And I told her, I said, bitch, sit your $5 ass down before I make change. Oh, you disturbing my motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. You in my damn conversation. Now what you gonna do about it? So either sit down or stand up and do something. She sat her ass down. I said, I thought so. And somebody was like, oh, well, you don't need to talk. No, no, no. You do need to talk to them like that. Because if you want to play these dumb ass games, then come on, step up and get it. I'm going to show you. That's the problem. You should have stayed your ass out of it. Now, once you got in it, you got to pour a taste of what it is. I don't have no problem with hurting your feelings. Literally, and like my so funny. My cousins were on the phone with me at the time when I went off. And that woman, she put her hand up in my face. I swung as hard as I could. I was trying to take her hand off. And they was like, you hit a woman? No, I said, no, I beat the brakes off a woman. I said, so I advise you to go get one of these niggas to take your ass whipping. You come at me with it, you gonna get it. I don't care who you are. Not what everybody turned around and didn't look this direction. I said, see, that's the thing. I said, you don't condone this bad behavior. When you step up out of place, you're gonna get put in your place. So when you want to step up in your place, because see, that's the problem. Y'all let them stay. Y'all let them say and talk all out the side of their lip without putting them in their place. When they act a fool, I'll say, come on, let's see how much you want to act a fool. Most of the time, that'll get them to shut up right there. Especially when they see that nobody ain't going to stand up for their ass. As soon as I told her to sit her $5 ass down before I make change, that Karen sat her behind down in that chair. All the white people turned and looked the other direction. I was the only black person there.
Mm.
I said, see, that's the problem. I said, if that's the problem is, you don't talk to men like that because you already know what type of consequences coming down. So unless you want to take it to that level, you need to shut up and stay in your place. And she sit your white ass down. She sat her down, and her friends told her, don't say that. I said, that's why you here alone. I said, because you was with a man, he would have told you to, Karen, shut up, please. We don't want to start any fight with this Negro.
Mm. All right. Look at some of these comments here. Somebody said
on that picture.
Rick Ross built bitches.
Oh. But here's a question. Why is Scotty's pants wet in that picture?
Getting all kinds of theories down there.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
all right. She must.
Yeah. Like my assumption, I wouldn't say he peed himself or anything like that. Probably got some service
Yeah.
from the groupies.
All right.
I mean, otherwise, if you're a person that hates seeing images like this because of the ethnicity of the women, you probably would assume that he peed his pants.
Mm-hmm.
But look like they
Unless
doing
he's
all
still
kinds of
straight.
shit, and
Right.
they look like they doing all kinds of shit. They probably got some drugs involved,
Oh yeah. Oh well. This is
some weed,
right.
some alcohol.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Like one of the things too. And that's one thing I noticed too. Since I was doing the gig work and going to them hotels and stuff with them white girls, the white girls be cool. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not attracted to white women like that. But they be cool. Plenty of times. It's like, well, come on in and have a drink with us. I was just like, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. But I mean, like literally, I done had 3 or 4 where it's been groups of white girls, and they like, oh, come on in. You can do this, or you can come chill with us. Or what time you calling it a day? I'm like, wow, black women don't do that. Like literally, I haven't had a black woman do it at all during the gig work time. I can name at least 5 or 6 times when the white girls are just like, come on in, and they were, oh, real cool, or yeah, you want some of this? I'm like, I'll pass, but I'm like literally, like a friend of mine, he messed with white women. He's like, oh, dude, I smashed a lot of them. I stepped in the black club the other, about 2.5 weeks ago, and I was sitting there. I was gonna turn my camera on there. All the women were kind of like singing and shit by themselves. A couple of them were sitting there with dudes, but like all of them were like hippo status.
Mm.
It was either hippo status or you can tell they was like they was looking for a ball player. He's the ones that were like top notch. We were like, goddamn, goddamn, goddamn. Them right there, you could tell. If you didn't have buku money, they might as well give you. They was it's like they looking for somebody to take care of them. So I ain't gonna lie, they was out there looking for
Mm.
them.
Yeah,
Me and
but
my boy Mario, we be talking about that all the time. We was like, oh, you already know. You step to her, you better have the game.
mm. Oh yeah. So yeah, let me ask you a question since I discussed this last night. What do you think of the upcoming Black Panther to Wakanda Forever?
I didn't see it. None of it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. This is the problem is that everything is they're making everything trying to be women friendly and all this bullshit, but they don't realize they killing their fucking base. And then they don't. They think they're trying to get them to do it to come in, but certain things you just got to be like, fuck it. We're not gonna have a women audience. I said because this is the problem. It's gonna get to so bad to where you sitting up here thinking now. I guarantee you, within 2 years, it'll be shit to where they'll be begging guys to come. Like dudes get this free, or dudes get a discount, or they gonna be like, fuck it. Because this is the problem. If the dudes, like even when I've been out when I was doing the gig work, we pick up from clubs. A lot of the times the dudes be overdoing their thing, and you could tell the girls got on their top pocket outfits where they like this, and the men just like whatever.
Mm.
They chilling with their boys talking about shit. And I'm like, dude, these dudes ain't even really trying. I'm like, look at this broad. She got on. Like literally, I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna get to the point so bad if the women don't hurry up and reel this shit in, they gonna have to fuck you on the first date to get your fucking attention. It's becoming that bad. Because I've watched, I've got went out, and he's staying there 15, 20 minutes. And it's like, wow.
Mm.
And I'm like,
You really think so?
hell yeah, I notice it. Like I'm going out. This what I'm gonna do. Make sure you do a show next Friday, okay? I'm going out to this club. It's an older gentleman, around our age. I'm gonna go to the club that day, and I'm gonna see. I'm gonna sit there for a couple hours and go live while I'm there, so that way you can see. A lot of the dudes is like, and I ain't gonna lie. I think a lot of them are doing my deal. Either we love it or I see you tomorrow. Like literally. I mean, it's this the problem. Y'all done made it to where it's like, if I'm dealing with you, I better be getting laid. If I'm not getting laid, ain't no point in me dealing with you. I mean, like literally, that's how the men are starting to look at it. Like my dude, he was sitting there. I was sitting there talking. I hooked up with this chick that I was sitting there, and I told her, I ain't gonna lie, man, that's probably a decent night of activity that I done had in a while. And he was sitting there talking. He's like, yeah, I done kicked it with this, or done this, I don't done all this. But he said, I ain't really smashed nobody like that in almost a year and a half. And he said, what's so bad is, this one chick, she was talking to me like women hit on him. He's like after they start talking and shit, and the way they act is like I don't even want to deal with them no more. He's like half the time, by the time they start opening their mouth and running their mouth, I'm like I don't lost all interest. And like and he said, "What's so bad?" Is like I don't want it to smash. She kept talking. By the time she finished talking about coming over, I'm like, no, goodbye. I don't even want. It's like, or she texts me, and then I still like most of the time you sitting there talking to your dude, and the broad texts you. And you're like, oh man, it's this dummy, and never mind. And you continue talking to your dude instead of, something like she done already pissed me off. I don't even want to fuck her no more. Like I met a chick the other day, so we sitting here talking. I'm like, cool. Next thing you know, she's like, oh well, yeah, I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm like, oh god, never. I mean, immediately, and then I ain't gonna lie. After she said 2 or 3 lines, I never want to speak to the chick again. And I mean, like literally, I hate to say, man. It's just like, man, I want to smash at first. But then after you start talking, it's like, I don't even want to have sex with you now. It's almost to the point where I'd rather pay for some so I don't know nothing about your ass and get turned off and then you go about your way.
Mm.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, man. When they be talking, I be like, God, don't. All you have to say, oh God, you one of them. Oh
Yeah,
God, you
too.
one of them. Oh God, you one of them. And then you be like, I'm not. Never mind. I'm not interested. And
Yeah,
that's a
I
horrible
mean,
feeling. Cause think about it. Most of the time, you think as men, we be done fuck everything. Oh yeah, I'm. By the time you talk to him, by the time you talk to him 2 days, you don't even want to sleep with him no more. And I mean, it's getting bad.
yeah, which makes me glad I'm in the situation I'm in, because if I wasn't, there would truly be nothing out there at this point.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
feel I feel bad for the single men out there right now.
I hate to say
What
something.
they got to deal with.
I had a friend of mine. He was like, yeah,
Horrible.
man. I was doing that. He's like, man. He's like, now I'm back in. He said, I go home. He said, I really go home and play my video game. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, what game? He's like, oh, I play. He said he a Destiny player. I'm like, man, I used to play Destiny. I need to get back into that.
Mm.
'Cause I ain't gonna lie. Most of the times, you know, it's almost better. You know, I done paid for. You know, I hate to say, it, just pay a couple dollars, handle the deed when you need it, and go on about your way.
Well, it all depends on what your goals are too. Is your goal companionship or just
The fact
busting
is,
a nut?
this is the problem. I'd be like, oh, it'd be nice. It'd be really nice somebody you can sit there and laugh. But then when you sit up here and be like, well, wait a minute, okay, you're gonna be just as dingy as all them other crap. And then I gotta pay for all your other shit. And you just as like them and probably burn me in the same way. Well, fuck it. I might as well just pay for the part I need and don't have to go about the other shit. Cause it ain't like you gonna be nothing after that. You know, it's a really fucked up situation.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
gone are the days where
I want. It's like
courtship and dating is
like
just a you know.
right, but I'm like, yo, and back in the day, you'd be like, okay, cool. I want to spend time with you. Now you're just like, oh God, and I ain't gonna lie, that's a so, well, yeah, I want to spend time with you. Never mind. Like I got to deal with that. Wait, and I'm thinking like this. It's okay, fine. If I got to deal with all the other bullshit, and I got to pay for everything, you understand what I'm saying? To me, it's like you paying for a headache. It ain't like I'm trying to have kids right now, but why pay for a fucking headache?
Hmm.
You know, I ain't even gonna lie. In our age group, you would think it'd be, you dating somebody damn near 40 years old or whatever. You think, okay, fine. But then the 40-year-old talking about they want no offense. I got to go through all that bullshit. No, no. Bitch, you should have just as much as I should. You should be able to pay for your own shit. Now, if everything is all cool, you should be able to pay for your own shit, and you want to be around me because I'm cool. That's what it is. Period. It ain't that got nothing to do all like that. And I always say, if the woman ain't gonna be around you for free, she don't like your ass. Because that broke ass nigga that say, like you say, the simp says, you say, the simp out there trying to spend all your money, while she got that dumb nigga at home that ain't doing shit, or she buying them Jordans or bringing him a sandwich after you done taken her out. So I said, if you not the dude if you not the dude getting it all for free, she don't like you.
Hmm.
It's just what it is. That's how it goes. If she ain't spending money on
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
and you like, look, you got to be the one she's spending the money on, and she fucking you for free and trying to do everything for you. If you not that dude, you don't want to be none of them. Don't be the other dude. Just realize, hey man, she don't like me. Call it a day.
Hmm.
And that's how I look at it. It's not, yeah, she don't like me. Call it a day. You might be a better dude than the dude, but you got to look at it as this. She don't like you like that, so you just call it a day.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't make them like you, no matter how
Right.
much you pursue and try.
Right.
And I mean that's a
What's
sad heart
oh,
that's a
no,
sad harsh reality, but
it
it's
is. No,
but
no,
it
what's
is
so
what it
bad?
is. I mean, you
Like
can't sit there and
Evan, let me tell you something else that I see too. Just because I don't start, like as Adams would say, a fistful of 20s or something like that. I start. So when you start dabbing in that to where you just pay for your needs, you start bump. You would not believe how many women out there looking for a relationship, but a couple dollars and they're doing that. So I'm like, you're out here looking for a relationship, but I see you get a couple dollars and do that. So you like, God damn. And I mean, it's a lot of them. A lot. A lot of girls that you would never have thought out there doing that.
into
You
my
were like,
strains supposed to change.
yes, yes. I mean, a lot of them. And there's been chicks where they don't even realize they hit me up. And I'm like, wait a minute. Because, especially, well, now that I got the same picture on all the profiles. But I'm like, wait a minute. I smashed her. Well, I used to smash this chick back in the day. I used to smash that chick back in the day. You know? You like, what? And yes, they out there just doing it, dude.
Yeah, that's
It is
why. That's
horrible.
why. That's why I don't understand why some dudes like hey act like this so difficult when it really isn't. What you may be talking about is the instance where like the whole strains for some change.
Right.
You know,
But then you find out that they dating too, and then like especially like when you bump into their dating profiles and when y'all doesn't match and you be like, wait a minute, I haven't seen your little working ad. Or be like, I know that ass. And you're like, oh, I hit that
damn,
before.
damn
I
chain, but
used to I
don't
used to
be the
bang
sucker.
her back. No, but I ain't even I done seen women that I used to bang back in the day and they out there doing it now.
Mm.
Like I was banging this one chick and she had a cousin who was like underage at the time. But I mean, like, remember I told you, like, the girl was like, I was like, God, dog, man. As soon as she turned 18, because I heard about her, she was like 14 years old, but she could pass for 20. And I'm like, as
Yeah,
soon as she turned
that's how
18,
dude be getting fucked up.
right, right. No, but like they called her plenty of times. Because see, when I was dating the cousin, I was like, oh, okay. So then, when you start dating and meeting the family members, because I ain't even gonna lie, I said, well, shoot, as soon as she turned 18, I might run up at it once. Okay. Why in the world I mean, like, she was thick, where she was just like any dude would have smashed her then. Now, I bumped into the one I used to smash. We hooked up one day, did the deed and all that. And she's like, oh, yeah, my cousin over there. You remember her, don't you? The one that I'm like, I'm playing it all dumb, even though I'd always said, because I told my boy, oh, yeah, man, she was over 18. I'd definitely be done hit it, but, I don't do that. Oh, my gosh. Girlfriend came to the door. I was like, what? And I mean, you thought that chick in that picture with the bonnet on was bad. She was like 420 pounds. I was like, she was like 170 max, 165, all nice. Like she had that hourglass. She was like 400 and like 25 pounds.
Oh, what?
I was like, I was just like literally, I even showed my friend a picture. I'm like, and he's like, yeah, I remember you was telling about her look. I'm like, yes. I'm like, dude, if we ever bump into, I even told him, I said, if I bump into the cousin again, I'm gonna hook you up with the niece, cause I'm like, dude, you gotta hit that. At least hit it for me and tell me how it was. I was like, dude, she's like over 400 pounds. She's like, what? I'm like, yes. I'm like, how are these women just letting themselves go like that? Like it's some girls like you see, I don't know if you can see my friends on Facebook, but just so to know, if I didn't go to school with them, I probably fucked them. That's how you can tell on if I didn't go to school with them, that's how I probably was smashed. But you look and say, I watch like some people make. Who can wear the same clothes as they are in high school? And I remember there's all these people was talking about that, and I'm like, I can. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I can wear the same pants. Most men can't do that. I can wear the same pants. You hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. But I'm just kind of like in and out,
Yeah.
like not really falling asleep or anything. But
Right,
it's
right,
about
right.
time for this. It's about time for this one to come to an end.
Yeah.
It's been a long day, but thanks for coming through, bro.
All right.
Word. And I mean, I really ain't got nothing to say as far as
Now, somebody said, "Well, I'm whispering." I'm at my cousin's house today and at home.
okay.
I don't want to keep them up there in the next room.
Yeah, man. But yeah, this one's been another good one. I would say. Uh,
Oh,
my my thing is like, yeah, we as a people overall, we got to do better. And
yeah.
will there ever come the day where we won't have to remind ourselves as such?
So, I don't think that day's coming no time soon.
Yeah.
Now,
But
sometimes
anyway,
how bad
go
could
ahead.
it
Go ahead.
get? I just like God, dog, man. I'm like, we just reached a new low, a new low, a new low.
Yeah, and it's just like it's almost as if you're afraid of the question, "What's next?"
Right, unfortunately.
So, what's
Mhm.
next? How can it get any worse? And then it just does. But my suggestion to each and every one of you is to keep your head on straight and keep your neck off the swivel. And
Yeah. Don't do nothing stupid, especially for a female, especially right now, because you about to see a lot of that. Like these people, like that dude that went in that store and got killed by the bodega owner. You about to see a lot of that in the next couple of weeks, because this is the bad thing. Them simps who ain't never had a chance at getting a chick, and now the chick's gonna be trying to butter them up. The next thing you know, your ass gonna be sitting up in a jail cell or either dead because
yeah,
you thought with your penis for 2 minutes and destroyed your
yeah,
life. And then now by the time you even get locked up, she's already on somebody else.
mm,
You gotta remember you're a dime a dozen.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
yeah, yeah, brothers. Basically, we all we got, even if it's on an individual basis. But that's reality, though. Just make smarter decisions and think with your head above your neck and shoulders, not with the head down below.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm finna get out of here. I'll let you guys later.
No.
Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. Uh, I am gonna win. When that happens, we all win. Until the next time.